Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's Jimmy Dore Show. I'm joined by Turner Classic Movies' Ben Mankiewicz. Hi, Ben. How are you?
Jimmy, welcome. Good to be here.
Okay, it's a big day today. We're running the clips a different way. Everything's going crazy. I don't know how it's going to work. Let's see. Okay. I was watching. So the big sequester happened. Huh? I feel good about it. I don't know about you. So the sequester happened. David Gregory brings on John Boehner to talk about it on Press the Meat. And well, let's just go to it. Hey, John Boehner, can you start us off with a cliche, maybe?
You can't continue to spend money that you don't have.
Oh, there you go. Right, nice. Sure. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Okay. I mean, spending money we didn't have was okay when Bush did it because he wasted our money on Iraq and Afghanistan, but Obama wants to waste it on Medicare and Social Security, you know.
Not so good.
Helping. Yeah. So can we go to another? How about another cliche? Let's say something.
Kick this can down the road, kick it down the road, and kick it down the road. We're out of road to kick the can down.
Yes, and you know, mostly we're out of road to kick the can down because Republicans won't authorize spending for roads. That's right. that's right.
Little infrastructure money, we could kick that can for another 25 years. No problem.
Kick that thing until Social Security's insolvent.
Totally, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so let's say, hey, how about one more canard about how cutting taxes saves us money or creates jobs?
That if we bring tax rates down, that we will help spur economic growth in our country.
See, there you go.
Right. Tax rates, by the way, have never been lower. Ever.
Taxes have never been lower. Yeah. And cutting taxes to create jobs has worked never.
So if they're arguing that cutting taxes even more would create growth, then you know what? Let's just continue with more Bush arguments. They'll be like, here's the key to success. Let's invade another country.
Hey, you know, I'm surprised you didn't say we have to fight them over there, so we have to fight them over
Totally, yeah. Let's just invade Iran. If the cutting taxes work, then maybe the Iraq thing worked too.
Here's how John Boehner answers the question, hey, is the sequester going to hurt? When John Boehner thinks the president's going to get blamed for it, the sequester, here's how he answers the question, is the sequester going to hurt us?
I am concerned about its impact on our economy and its impact on our military.
Okay, so he sounds very concerned.
Stern,
okay.
Very worried man.
Here's how John Boehner answers that question when he thinks he's going to be held responsible for the sequester. Is it going to hurt us, John?
Listen, I don't know whether it's going to hurt the economy or not.
Was that a different day?
Same day.
It was like 40 seconds later. Yeah.
Same interview. Yeah. Doesn't know.
Play that. Can we play that one again? Just
sure.
Check out Boehner at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't know whether it's going to hurt the economy or not.
What
are you asking me for? I don't work in government.
Who am I? What do I know?
Right, I lead the House Republicans. We don't know anything. We don't do anything.
I'm third in line to be president. What do I know?
Yeah, totally. Hurt, help. Nah.
Okay, so now the problem is that he caught a lot of grief. He's having a hard time corralling his caucus, his raucous caucus, because the Tea Partiers are mad at him because they don't want to raise taxes ever, right? So what do you say to, I say, John Boehner, what do you say to those people who say that they don't want to raise taxes in your party?
But let me just say this. There's not one member of our caucus who said one word to me that was critical of the fact that we lowered taxes for 99.1% of the American people.
See, now some people see the glass as half empty, Ben. He sees it as full of booze, which allows him to live in his web of lies. So now President Obama wants to raise taxes, right, when it gives a little more revenue so we can pay for stuff. And
as part of this deal to get rid of the sequester, have a little revenue in addition to spending cuts.
That's exactly. So what do you say to that?
The president got his tax hikes on January the 1st.
Well, how could you just said
you cut taxes for 99.1% of the country?
He just said that.
Right.
So how could you be? It sounds like you're saying contradictory things, John Boehner. Can you tell me again? Well,
the president got $650 billion of higher taxes on the American people on January the 1st.
Well, John, wait a minute. You just said you cut taxes for 99.1% of the American people, and now you're saying yet you and the president raised taxes 650. Which is it, John?
I'm going to say it one more time. The president got his tax hikes on January the 1st.
So I don't know if this guy, I don't know what's going on.
He slipped up and gave a non-Tea Party talking point,
yes,
which happens to be true, that taxes were essentially lowered. the Bush tax cuts maintained for literally everyone you know,
Yes.
everyone you'll ever meet, every friend, every family member.
Right. Except the payroll tax hike did get
Big
reinstated. Big mistake.
Big mistake. It takes away the argument because it literally makes people feel like they've lost money because,
Yes.
in fact, they've lost money.
They've lost money.
That's right, yeah.
Yes. So now David Gregory brings on Cy Sperling from the Hair Club for Men.
Sure.
And I'm sorry, Gene Sperling from
Right.
the White House. And he says, so the big deal is that the Republicans are not going to raise revenue, meaning raise taxes. And the president says, well, if we're going to cut spending on social programs, we're going to have to raise some revenue. And that's what's called a balanced approach, right?
President's offer is 2-to-1.
2-to-1 spending cuts for every dollar of revenue.
He would, by the way, I think unquestionably take 3-to-1.
Yes.
If there were an offer made, right?
No offer being made.
No offer made, right.
So here's what David Gregory says to Gene Sperling from the White House about their impasse over the sequester.
But as you knew, Mr. Sperling, you were not going to get new revenue. They signaled this repeatedly, and the president went out there to campaign, to try to raise the stakes and raise the public pressure, and it didn't work. Was it a miscalculation?
So I don't know if you just heard. So what he's saying is that's basically a right-wing talking point that the president's out campaigning now, that he doesn't have another election. What he's doing is using the bully pulpit to help move legislation along, which is what the president is supposed to do. It's called leading,
Yes.
right? Mm-hmm. But what David Gregory is pretending is he's campaigning, which is just a right-wing talking point, and ignoring the fact that President Barack Obama actually won in a real campaign in which he campaigned on raising taxes, and according to David Gregory, that means nothing. Because the party that lost the election doesn't want to raise taxes, and so they win. That's pretty much what David Gregory is saying.
Yeah, and everybody is equally to blame when the Republicans are completely comfortable doing absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Right. The president isn't comfortable doing nothing. The Democrats aren't comfortable doing nothing. The Republicans are totally comfortable doing nothing, and somehow there's a shared blame all the way around.
Well, they told you they weren't going to raise revenues. Now, well, what the hell does that mean, David? Yes, that's what they said. They're wrong.
Right.
They're not negotiating in good faith. What do you want me to tell you?
Right. That's a nonsensical way to approach the problem, but nobody will say that. And I mean, does the president handle this right? Has he done everything perfectly? No, of course not. But the point is, you're negotiating with people. There's no negotiating. We won't do anything.
Yeah, I mean,
give us what we want or nothing.
And you have to hand it to the Republicans, right, for trying to
Geniuses.
crash the economy only 4 years after trying to crash the economy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.